Where is this thing on? Where's everybody at? There's nobody here. Hey, Ross, are you here? Ed, are you here? What's going on?
I'm here.
Ed's here. That's all that matters. What are you worried about?
Did we start?
Yeah, Ed's here.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I was a little late. I was a little late. I had traffic. I had some autograph signings and things to do in the Columbus, Ohio, with the Ed in Columbus. I saw the Buckeyes trademarked the, and I'm a little upset. So I'm going to have some legal action against them. But I was busy with some of that stuff, so I apologize for my tardiness. But the show is ready to rock and roll. The Dawg Chug featuring Ed in Columbus is here. Let's go.
All right. Well,
you got underscores in your name. You should trademark that shit.
I thought there was 4 of us. Where's Andy's not here? What's going on with Andy?
Who?
I don't know. Car troubles, beer troubles.
I did. I talked to him Monday, and Heather bought a new one of them cribs, and he started putting it together. He might still be doing that.
Oh shit! Yeah, he's got number 2 on the way.
He's got for Baby Manch. Those things, you ever put those things together? They're ridiculous. He's probably still working on it. I've seen his toolbox before. He's got 3 tools.
What does he have? A bottle opener?
You bottle opener? Bottle opener, a tap.
So you're going back to Elvis Juice again? Is that what I see there?
It's the last one. It was in the cooler left over from Friday. I don't remember Friday night. How about Friday night, guys?
Oh, that was a good time.
It was a good time, but I got a little mouthy, and I had a little too much alcohol.
I don't know if Jacob survived it. He actually missed the last Barking Browns episode. He might have had a little Dawg Chug collabo hangover.
You did probably. I completely understand it because Monday I was still feeling like shit. Monday, Ed got me in the mood for today's show. I wasn't even feeling it this morning, and Ed got me fired up for tonight.
That's the one thing about
That's
the one thing about Ed in Columbus, knows how to get people fired up. And you know what? Yeah, I see you must have got dressed in the dark because you got that Michigan hat on. I must have even fired up those boys from the team up north last year, but it ain't going to happen again this year. I'll tell you that.
All right. You know what? We go another 8 years. At least I got one in between the last 8 years. I couldn't find my guards hat.
In the playoffs.
You know what?
Hey, I gave a OH. I want to give a shout out to Papa Mick. Our friend is battling. He's fighting, man. He's battling, and I gave him an OH. Shout out to Papa Nick OH. This is a little hangover from Friday's show. Is it? Yeah.
I don't usually drink, but this one, you know what? This one's for Papa Mick. Crack this open. We'll give it the old.
So yeah, Friday was a good time. What's on the agenda tonight? We got a guest. I really didn't get a chance to talk to you guys too much.
I mean, I think all of 10 people on Twitter that follow me saw the agenda today.
Oh,
I think there's a top 10 because that's what you love to do. But most importantly, we got a guest from the future on tonight.
For the whole show?
Yeah.
Well, from the guest time he comes on to the. Excellent.
Yeah, hold on. I gotta work some magic. I got a little machine to teleport people in from the future.
Oh yeah, get that straightened out. Andy's not around. He's not going to be pissed or anything, is he? Oh, look it.
I just want to know, Ross, will I be getting a cat in the future?
Huh?
Will I be getting a cat in the future?
He's Cornolio.
You don't want to know about the future, man.
Does he have another kid?
They might have banned abortion on humans, but they did the opposite on cats. They actually got rid of cats completely in the future.
Wow.
We just totally
eradicated cats.
No more cats. Yeah, we got the president who's all about dogs, and he's like, save the dogs, kill the cats.
So the Browns beat the Bengals down so bad that they get rid of the Bengals too?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. They were extinct before in the future anyway.
Oh, that's fair.
So anyways, you saw me doing some work over there, but I got someone from the future. If you guys are familiar with the Dawg Chug, he's been on a couple times. It's actually future Andy Manchin.
What's going on, boys?
Hey,
man, shit.
What year is this?
Shit.
What year are you in?
5 years in the future, right? You guys are 2022.
22.
Yeah, I'm 5 years.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh crap!
We're gonna find out.
What's the sports bet I should really triple down on in
Right.
2023?
I want to start Bifco.
In all of sports. It doesn't have to be Browns.
Last time I did this, things got way out of control. You can't give bets to people. Did you see that Back to the Future 2? It creates a whole another world that's awful. Yeah.
But I want Ed to throw singles around every single day on Twitter.
Yes. Yes.
That's really important to me.
Yes.
I got a question. So you're 5 years in the future. Do you miss you? That's 5 years that you're missing yet in Columbus. Do you wish you could get those 5 years back?
Yeah, so I don't know if you know how like time travel works, but during the 5 years that I've been existing, I continue to have a relationship with Ed in Columbus. So I see you every day to this point.
Great days, huge, good stuff.
Oh, so you're like out and about finally. That's good to know.
Hey.
Yeah, I finally about 6 months ago got the all clear. I'm allowed to go outside now. Still haven't gotten to go to indoor restaurants, but soon.
Oh man.
Hey, do you remember why you're not here tonight? What are you doing? Do you have? Why
Yeah,
aren't
I
you
had a
here?
really bad meth habit that time of my life. So
Okay. Yeah.
Shit, so this was week 1 of the meth addiction.
no, it was going on since about when COVID started. But
I guess that explains the budget natter days and natty lights.
Oh,
You had to cut costs somewhere.
hold on a minute. What are you drinking?
yeah, some.
If you upgraded from chugging beer to
It's Stranahan's. Pretty good.
oh,
Wait, what's your most liked Twitter video in the last 5 years?
I'm not really on Twitter as much. Doing more Instagram these days.
Oh, really? So, like, did you get a 6-pack or something?
6-pack of what?
Abs, shredded muscles,
No.
getting the chicks, getting DMs.
Taking pictures outside with the family, just enjoying life. It's
How
pretty
many
good.
mansions are there now?
oh.
Yeah, just the 2 kids. Weston is gonna be 5 soon.
Weston.
Krista's
What?
8.
I thought you were gonna name him Edward.
Yeah, well, we ended up not doing that.
Oh, crap. We might as well cancel the Dawg Chug now so that we can cancel that. We could probably change the future still, right?
I was gonna make him future host of the Dawg Chug if he had my name to carry on the legacy.
Well, I guess I'll have to make his own way, Ed.
Is this his
Is he-
birthright? Dog chug.
Is he still plotting to kill you?
Plotting to kill Ed?
No,
me.
you.
No, we're really close.
When he was in the womb, he really hated you.
Yeah, he was kind of an asshole back then, but he's a good kid.
Do the Browns have a franchise quarterback yet?
Well, I don't know. You tell me.
Oh,
I don't know yet. I'm waiting a couple days. We got some legal things going on
yeah.
here. I gotta
Future
wait a
match, if
couple-
you're wondering, Deshaun just talked with the NFL trying to negotiate his suspension. We still don't know how long he's going to be suspended.
Yeah.
That's
I
exactly
remember-
where we are in 2022. I didn't
remember that
clarify
drama.
that with you.
And I remember getting all concerned and freaked out about everything, but at the end of the day, it all works out. This is a tiny little blip in his career with the Cleveland Browns. It's kind of like with the Pittsburgh Steelers. It seemed awful what was going on with Ben, but at a certain point, really not many people outside of upset Browns fans talk about it.
I like how you keep it vague. It all works out for the Browns. You know what it all works out means for Browns fans? Like one playoff win in 20 years. That's
Right.
what all works out means to us.
That's about all we get.
That's fair. And pretty close, actually. But I don't want to give you too specific information. But I will say this. If you guys want to bet over-unders on the season for this Guardians year, for the Cavs, and for the Browns, take the under. But then the next year, go ahead and take the over. You'll do pretty well.
Well, that's something.
Okay.
All right.
Bifco, here I come.
Man, I can't get over how young you guys are.
What do you mean? What?
You guys look like babies. It's awesome.
At least I'm still alive, right?
You're still kicking.
All right. That's all I need to know.
Oh my God.
You've aged gracefully, Andy. You look
Thank
nice.
Hey, in the last 5 years, how many times did you laugh at an Ed tweet?
You know what? I laugh at Ed tweets pretty often, actually. I'd say average about one a day.
Whoa.
Oh yeah.
He tweets out about 10 times, so 1 out of 10.
Are you just looking at the same one over and over again that makes you laugh, or is he posting new original content every day?
He's still posting as often as he does now to this day, and some of it's the same old nonsense. The cool thing is, though, at some point, all his history tweets start talking about, like, right now for you guys.
Oh, okay.
So he's not stuck in the early 1990s
No.
anymore with this history.
Just the dancing. Is the dancing improved or is
He
it?
still
upgraded?
dances. He's still as shitty of a dancer as he ever was.
How about his singing? He sang he sang on the Down with the Browns. I don't know if you remember it.
And here's to you, Judge Sue Robinson. Don't make our quarterback go away. Hey,
Is
hey,
it-
hey. Hey,
The
hey,
singing
hey.
doesn't improve, but thankfully, it's not something he does very often.
That's
Oh,
true.
okay.
I know my limitations. It's not, God didn't give me the pipes, but he gave me the legs.
Well, what's funny? Like, so today's episode is actually sponsored by Now That's What I Call Ed Volume 1. It's all
Really?
events greatest hits.
All right.
Like J-O-J-O-K, whatever he just sang there. It's a lot of covers.
Mrs.
Mostly.
Robinson.
Yeah.
Ed's
Judge
coming
Sue
up
Robinson.
sponsoring the show.
I got a question about the future. Will my hit A-O-A-O-K, J-O-J-O-K, is J-O-K, is he going to go down in the Clay Matthews lore of linebacker history?
Are you talking about the song or are you talking about the player?
Well, the song's going to be huge. I know that's going to blow up, but it also helps that J-O-K himself blows up. It kind of goes in conjunction with each other.
So he has a rough sophomore year where he's not quite as good. And then his junior season, unfortunately, gets out to an injury. And pretty much Browns fans start saying this guy's a bust. But he ends strong. And then his fourth year, he earns that extra contract. And he has one hell of a year.
A-O-A-O-K, because we got J-O-J-O.
Future Andy, don't encourage
Now That's
him.
What I Call Ed Volume 1, Track 2.
Don't encourage him, Future Andy.
Apple stores, Spotify, get it, all your music platforms.
Okay, all right. So we don't know what's going to happen with Watson this week or next week or whenever they make their decision. And do the Browns go into 2022 with Jacoby Brissett as the starting quarterback? Are you going to give us that much, or do they at least get help as a backup? What kind of details, or if any, that you can give us?
After the ruling comes down, they decide to stick with what they've got. I'll tell you that much.
Because the ruling isn't that much. Is that what you're saying?
You can take it as you will.
Okay.
Man, Future Manch was so much cooler in those other videos. Now he's
With
like
the
a little lame
you
duck.
know
Saying, I
that-
don't want to tell you guys anything.
I'm
Right.
telling you,
The two
Things-
kids really got him down, it seems.
All right. I will say it's not as bad as everyone in the media is freaking out. This judge has a little bit of sense. The NFL's been playing their hand strong as I remember it. It's going to be a couple of games, not going to be a lot.
Is there any other NFL suspension that makes headlines outside of the Browns?
This year?
No, in the next 5 years, is there one that ends up being bigger than Deshaun Watson's suspension?
Absolutely.
Laundry
Yeah.
list.
I can think of one. I can think of three off the top of my head.
Was there a specific incident that happened?
Yeah, there's some incidences. Sure. There's a player was a little too aggressive with his wife. And unfortunately,
No way.
that was on video. A very famous quarterback gets involved in a DUI where he hits a police car, and the police car did get injured. So,
Oh, shit. Actually, non-football question. What's the 2024 election looking like?
Ooh.
yeah. So thankfully, you're going to have two young guys. That's all I can say.
Whoa.
These old geezers are going away.
But the future is female, Andy. The future is female.
I hope you're right, but in 2024, it is two.
So you're saying it's Newsom? So you're saying it's Newsom versus DeSantis?
It is. You've got one of those right.
Okay,
Ooh.
fair enough.
Jesus.
Oh, I have a question. The biggest question that all Cleveland sports people want to know: do we get Dome in the future?
It's funny. They're talking about that right now, and
Still talking?
they're still talking. But the prevailing thought is that we are going to get a dome.
Okay.
Well, look at
Everybody
that.
loves Dome. I'm gonna chug to Dome.
It's a rare occasion. When you bounced back pretty good. We had a big collaboration show. We spoke to you on it on Friday night with the
Right.
Market Rounds, and that got. Do you remember?
That's really funny. Yeah, that's the time Nick and Jacob stopped talking to us.
Right.
That's
Exactly.
Were they ever? Do you ever do a collabo again? Are we
That
stuck
was the
doing
last-
collabos with Down with
That
the
was the
Browns?
last collab, unfortunately.
That's when Nick hung up on me.
The good news is I don't get fired because of it, do I?
No, you're still part of their show, and we're still in the chats, but they don't engage with us like they used to.
Really. I don't.
What's
I'm
the-
not surprised.
What is the number of Ed in Columbus podcasts?
Ooh.
Is there a
Well,
network?
He's got the Ed Off the Old Block podcast hour with special guest Chops. That's going strong. And
Wow.
in addition to that, he's on 14 podcasts.
Oh, that's,
Man,
Seems
sounds like
about
a
right.
full-time gig. Like,
The trajectory seems right. The trajectory.
He does start the EIC Productions, which is going strong. He's helping out a lot of people get to the podcast game. He's pretty much influencing a lot in the Cleveland podcast market. He's a big name.
does he have a
Wow.
line of ties yet?
Not yet. That's a good idea.
Ah.
I'll have to mention that to him.
oh.
You know what? I would have thought
bummer.
with your sock business, Ross, we could have got something going with the ties and the socks. But you know what? Obviously, you must be holding out.
I don't got a tie guy. I just got sock guys.
We'll get it done. We'll make it huge. It's going to be the biggest thing coming in the 2030s, I guess. It looks
Well,
like.
and future Manch, I don't know if you remember this one, but we're gonna have another top 10 from Roger. Are you ready
This
for
one, This one was a funny one.
This one, yeah.
You know what we're going to say.
Yeah, it's
It's-
right around. Yeah, like I told you, right around the Deshaun
I
Watson. Hey, we
always-
don't know what he's gonna get.
I always
suspended.
remember Roger's Tops 10. They're the best part of the show.
It's become a weekly thing, and it just blown up, and I write like 2 out of every 10. You
And
guys
I
have
will say, the guy that you're honoring during this top 10, he will not be around.
it's become a dog chug top 10, not mine, because we all collaborate. But I'm going to give it to you these, and I want I want at the end you to tell me how I stand on these. All of us, Ross wrote most of these. So these are the top 10 reasons Roger Goodell should be suspended. The top 10 reasons Goodell should be suspended from the NFL. The NFL is a nonprofit organization, and he makes $40 million a year. That number 10, that's grounds for, as far as I'm concerned. Number 9, his voice, it sounds like a teenager going through puberty. You can't take the guy serious. He sounds like a little kid. Are you yawning?
No, I was singing. I remember that episode on the Brady Bunch when Peter goes through puberty and he's trying to sing.
When Ross wrote that, I was going to change it. He sounds like Peter Brady, but there's a lot of young people who don't know who the fuck Peter
See,
Brady
you
is.
got the reference.
I did, right.
I love you.
Just number 8. There's actually security footage that caught him stealing a bottle of Tabasco from Chipotle.
It's a true story.
TMZ got it, I think, right?
Right. Number 7. He owns a chain of massage parlors in Miami called Good All Endings.
Whew.
That'll
That's
get
a
you.
little ironic.
I heard it's
That'll
very
get you.
profitable. Very profitable.
Number 6. He calls his secretary Jugs McGee behind her back. Ain't good.
This is 2022. Come on, Roger.
Number 5. If not me, it's Goodell.
I know it's not
Number
Goodell.
5. He hates black people.
True story.
So
Nothing's
did
changed.
George Bush, according to Kanye, in 2005. So.
Yeah.
Number
Damn Hurricane
4.
Katrina.
Kanye no longer with us.
What?
Oh, yeah.
What?
What?
Ah.
Rest in peace, Yeezy. Rest in peace.
Way to fizzle the top 10, future Andy. Number 4. He leaks information to the media more than Edward Snowden.
Oh,
Edward Snowden.
Snow. Yeah.
Noted.
Number 3. Number 3. At $40 million a year, you'd think he'd have better, but during the COVID draft, his basement looked like Ross's.
That's a true story.
The perfectly
I've
fine
been
basement.
there
Look
before.
at, this, look at the structures of this wood paneling.
Number 2. He's also a Nazi.
Oh shit! How many Nazis are in the
That's going to
NFL?
be my standard number 2, no matter what. They're a Nazi. And the number 1 reason Roger Goodell should be suspended, he makes damn sure Cleveland Browns fans will never get a happy ending. That's tonight's top 10 reasons why Roger Goodell should be fired. We're the Dawg Chug, and you're not, no matter how hard you fucking try.
Well done. I think you missed my exclusive. Roger Goodell is no longer the commissioner in.
What?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Is it because of the top 10 we just made?
That might have factored in. I'm not, he
That
retired.
was all facts. It was legitimately facts. We actually did research like the Barking Browns does.
And he is
Purely
known,
fact-driven.
he's a known Nazi at this point. That's a true story.
Did they find out so we found out that D. Haslam was a Nazi and Roger Goodell's a Nazi. Is there like a trend? Is there like going to be a big NFL probe about like Nazis in the NFL?
Is Joe McCartney
Fellowship?
coming back? Are we having hearings? Is this what is this turning into?
Wow. It's so fun to be on these early shows when things weren't kind of perfect.
Will we get better?
We do get better.
Future Match is really good about not answering questions. He's really worried about like us altering the future where he is just not alive anymore.
Where's Dan in 5 years? Where's Dan?
Unfortunately, no longer with us.
Dan's no longer with us.
You know what?
Wait,
I got
so
to
you mean, like, with-
this one's for Dan. We love you, Hormouth.
Dan, we love you.
With the Dawg Chug, or,
R.I.P. Danny boy.
Dan lived more in 1 week than we do our entire life. God bless him. Rest in peace, Dan.
One
Wow.
love, baby. One love.
Wow, you just keep bringing the good news here, don't you, future Andy?
Well, I'm being
Full
told
of
I'm
good
not
news.
revealing enough information, so I'm trying to reveal what I
Roger,
can.
I think some people would be happy about Dan, though. I love Dan, but I don't know if this news exactly would, crush the hearts and soul of all of Cleveland.
Does he eat like bad gummies or something? What takes some bad gummies? Get a hold of some black Lebanese gummies and it takes them out.
One day he just stopped coming on, and then about a month later, we got the news. I don't know what happened.
Wow. Wow.
Very sad.
I just saw him in the chat a little bit ago, and he started a nice little collection of alcohol and whatnots sitting there on his table. And I knew as soon as he put that picture up that he wasn't going to be around.
Oh man,
Uh-oh. We got a
the
message.
fans are coming in. They want to ask questions.
We do have an audience. Our audience does grow beyond 5. So
You've already, you said that we're worldwide. We're huge in Japan in 5 years, I heard. Did you say that? Like, they just go crazy over there.
They scream like those girls that like during the Elvis era, right? They see us and they go crazy. We're streaming video games on Twitch. It's nuts.
Hey, Ross.
What's up? Well, hey, Andy, what I was wondering, is Spit Sip Chug still the staple game of the Dawg Chug in 5 years?
yes, it is. And just in case you guys asked me to be on tonight, I did prepare. But I think we actually seems like someone just joined the feed. Should we bring them on?
It looks like there's not a person on screen, but they can come on.
I bet. Well, we'll see if they come on. Oh, no, they just left.
Well, that's what happens when you don't have good Wi-Fi.
Oh, here he comes.
There he is.
Trying again.
Oh,
His ceiling. His ceiling's on the show. All right.
Dan, are you there?
Dan.
Are you?
What's up, fuck?
Whoa, there he
What's
is.
up, motherfucker?
This is like the best. This is like the all-time greatest streak. He's been on the Dawg Chug for 5 straight weeks, I believe.
I know.
Yes.
And I'm absolutely wasted.
Now you've surpassed Jessica and Kelly.
I know.
You are, and probably Gator and all of them.
Dan, it's so good to see you. This is what an amazing technology this is. I can go back in time and continue seeing you.
Joe, Dan, you know this is future Andy. Andy's not here tonight. We brought future Andy in as our guest.
Yeah, and unfortunately, you're not around anymore. But God, it's so good to see you.
Yeah. Well, Andy and Rod and Jacob and Nick are probably the only people ever see me sober on Brown's Twitter.
When did we see you?
That's pretty sad.
When's the last time you had a good internet connection?
Hey, you weren't watching a few minutes ago, were you? And heard Andy giving us, like, telling us what's going on in the future. You didn't hear any of that, did you?
No, I didn't.
Okay, good. Don't worry about
I just saw it down
You
and
didn't
I was
miss
like, oh shit, I'm late.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you again. I revealed the unfortunate news that in the future you're no longer with us.
Oh yeah, that'll happen. That was inevitable.
Yeah.
it. Take it in stride.
Hey, Dan, I'll see you at the crossroads.
All right, homie. Don't be lonely.
That's right. Shout out to Bone Thugs.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ross, for ending that.
Yeah.
He didn't have a lot to say. He had almost as much to say here as he does 5 years in the future when he's no longer with us.
Oh man.
They'll find his notebooks. They'll find thousands and thousands of notebooks just filled page to page with Danisms.
The problem with Dan is I think he was actually writing from the right to the left. You know what I'm saying? Instead of left to right. So I think
right,
that's yeah.
So I think we're about to kick off Spit Sip Chug, and I was going to kick it off with a quick statement, and then Future Manch, thanks for preparing stuff from the future, whatever you got going on. I don't know. I'm really curious what your statements are going to be, but my first one is the chocolate chip cookie dough blizzard is the best blizzard at Dairy Queen. Spit, sip, or chug. Future Manch.
Yeah. I know Dairy Queen still exists in my timeline. Unfortunately, I don't think I've ever had one, so I'm just gonna sip. Fuck it.
Oh, I think that's his first tip. Sip.
Man,
Ever.
things have changed. Well, now he's drinking straight liquor instead of beer. So
right. Now he's a full-blown alcoholic.
Well, I'm gonna sip on that as well, because here's why. I think it's great. I think all Dairy Queen blizzards are great. Huge. Love Dairy Queen, But the classic Oreo or the Reese's Peanut Butter Cups is Ed and Columbus's favorite, and it's the favorite of many millions of Americans, good Americans. So I'll sip on that.
Oh, we got a spit alert.
I spit. It doesn't matter what it is or what. If you're talking about ice cream and confectionaries, I'm a banana split guy across the board. Nothing can compare to it. So I'm spitting on that, I guess.
Yeah, you really relate with that 50+ crowd. I can tell you that. Well, I'm obviously chugging on it. I made the statement.
Yes.
Oh, it's a classic. The cookie dough, the uncooked raw egg.
I mean, it's good. It's good. Don't get me wrong.
It's really good, and especially when they really load it up, when it's like half cookie dough and half ice cream. You never want to get gypped. When you get gypped, that's when it's not worth it. But when every single scoop's got some cookie dough in it, you can't go wrong. It's ice cream and cookie dough. Who doesn't like ice cream and cookie dough? I can tell you who. Vladimir Putin doesn't like cookie dough, and he doesn't like ice cream.
Communists don't like it. That's who.
I will say that, first of all, big announcements. 5 years ago, right now, I remember the Guardians just won in overtime. They were down 6-3, and they just won in overtime 7-6 when one of my favorite Guardians, Naylor, still with the Guardians, hit a 2-run home run.
Wait, so did MLB finally change their extra inning rules? Because you just called it overtime. Do they have like a time limit for like hitting home runs and shit?
Right, you called it overtime. Did they change extra innings?
See these people. This is
what
what I
home
deal
run
with,
derby?
Andy.
Tell me, please tell me it's a home run derby.
No, it's extra innings. I was misspoken.
Shit.
And also, you were misspoken because in the future, we don't really use that gyp word anymore. That's not a cool
Holy
word.
shit, he was right.
We've kind of eliminated. Anyway.
You called that right before it happened.
Wow.
You're something. I tell you,
The live bets weren't quick enough.
I love Josh Naylor so much, and that love will continue over the next 5 years. I promise you.
Does it get us a ring though? Do we get a ring?
Well, you're gonna have to find out.
You're not going to tell us how many World Series we win?
All right, I'll tell you this: Guardians are gonna win a ring.
Oh, whoa, huge!
In the next 5 years, and it is fantastic. And now we're just waiting on the Browns.
Oh man, you got me. I'm glad I'm still going to be alive.
the parade.
So you're telling me this logo that everybody hates and I'm kind of starting to love?
Yeah.
Champions.
That's my favorite thing. I love the flying G.
And it was the parade was one of my favorite moments within the last 5 years. And don't forget, I met my son.
Oh. Was it bigger than the Cavs parade? Do we get 1.7?
Way bigger.
I bet.
We went on for like 3 days too. They could.
Was it bigger than the crowd that showed up for free ed?
Yes.
Those were huge. The whole country
was huge.
Participated in that.
Free ed was huge.
Free ed movement was huge, but the Guardians parade was bigger.
I'll take that. I have no problem conceding to that.
All right. Continue with Spit Sip Chug now.
Sure.
What do you guys say? All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
A couple Spit Sip Chugs. Actually, I kind of pulled some of the ones that we had the most fun answering, so it's kind of interesting. And my favorite part of this is these have all been asked in future episodes, so now I get to compare your answers, which is actually my favorite part. Okay, so number one. Ed, we're going to start with you. Browns fans are the best fans in the league.
You know what? I'm going to chug on that sucker right here.
Yes.
They've always been the best fans. They always will be the best fans. Northeast Ohio, the birthplace of football. It's unfortunate that obviously our history has, not included the championship spoils that other cities, ungrateful fans. A lot of these look at St. Louis, for instance. They got the Rams, win a Super Bowl, and now the Rams are in LA. So those fans, what I'm saying? It's like, they lost the Cardinals. Look at Baltimore. They lost the Colts, and they get the Ravens, and they get 2 Super Bowls. Nobody's more deserving than Cleveland when it comes to winning a Super Bowl. Hopefully we get one soon, and we are the best fans. And you know what? Look at Brown's Twitter, for instance. That people talk about that hate and that vitriol people have towards each other. That's just people that just want to win on both sides passionately, and they go at each other and stuff like that. So it's kind of sad to see that, but at the end of the day, we all want the same thing. And someday we will rejoice in a Super Bowl in the 216.
That is almost word for word what he says 3.5 years from now.
Really?
Roger?
I love me some me.
Doesn't surprise me.
All right, Roger, why don't you go ahead and sip right now and we can move on?
I'm chugging.
Whoa. He
Shocking.
really is.
Shocking.
That's horrible beer. British, I guess. Oof. Father's Day.
Wimbledon's going on, by the way. Wimbledon.
I've been around a long freaking time now, way older than you guys, except for future Andy. He probably caught up to me now. But there's nothing like Cleveland. From the Browns to Guardians to Cavs, all the way down to the Tri-C Triceratops. Cleveland fans are nuts. They're the most loyal fan base. We're going to be at each other's throat constantly, but don't talk about us if you're an outsider, because everybody will turn around and pile on you. Brown's Twitter, for as crazy, as insane as it is, man, it is just the best fan base in all of NFL, in all sports. The Cleveland Browns fan base, hands down. We used to go to Buffalo when the Browns left, and we'd go up there and tailgate. We'd wear Browns jerseys, Browns gear, and even Buffalo fans were like, this was before the decisions made. Everybody knows we're the best fans in the world. There's no denying it.
All right. Well, I'm going to chug on that as well. Like I get another beer. But obviously, like right now we're dealing with the Deshaun Watson crap. And I'll tell you what, every time I see my in-laws, all we do is talk about the Deshaun Watson thing and debate it, which tells you that's how much we care. Like whether we're for or against it, it's like the only thing we want to talk about. And my wife's rolling her eyes saying like, are you really going to talk about this again? Yeah, I'm not done talking about it because it's all I care about.
Yes.
Even though we're on completely different ends of the spectrum. Like we just want to talk about Cleveland sports no matter what. And Browns go to the top of that, which is saying a lot because we love every single one of our sports. So it just shows the passion we have. And the passion came when we were 0-16. Like, I don't want to say because we were bad, it makes us look like better fans, but it just showed our level of passion. Like, go to the Muni lot one time. even this year when everyone's kind of split between what we're dealing with now, because like, yeah, there's reasons to be a little pissed off right now. But if you see people face to face, like it means a lot to them, and they're never gonna let it go. And don't worry about Brown's Twitter. I'm not gonna bring up Brown's Twitter because you don't need that to determine how good of a fan base we are.
All right. Well, I will say when I answered this one 3.5 years from now, I actually did sip because I think our fan base has some warts, but sometimes I think I judge that too much on, social media, sports callers to radio talk shows, and that doesn't define a fan base. This is the best fan base. In the future, we actually have better ways to communicate with everyone, and you can actually talk to more Browns fans than just the people that are brave enough to go on Twitter. And I've talked to some amazing Browns fans, and they're the best. Adversity, it doesn't matter. They're still here. When we win, it means more to them than it does pretty much anyone else. So I'm chugging on that one.
Yeah.
So wait, when you say you remembered what you said 5 years ago, you do realize this episode aired 5 years ago as future match.
Yeah,
it wasn't like past match. It was you right now.
So I asked this question 3.5 years from now, and I remember what I said 3.5 years.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
This never happened. I never was on this episode.
Yes.
Of Dawg Chug.
Because how does this work? Like, if you were to watch this episode in the past, would you be seeing future match?
We've actually created a alternate episode for
Right.
June 29th.
Oh, it's like a space-time continuum
Exactly.
too. Not
There's
one.
2 episodes of the Dawg Chug, and I guarantee this one's going to be better.
Oh, that reminds me of the Avengers. They had multiple ways of time traveling and all that shit, whatever it was.
The Dawg
All right.
Chug ski on a tangent.
I'm going to move on. I got 3 more, and I always want to answer last because some of these are about the future, and I don't want to influence anyone's answers. So, Roger, we're going to start with you. 20 years from now, or 15 for me, the popular opinion that most Browns fans will have is that the Watson trade was a win.
That the Watson trade was a winner?
That we won the
Yeah, we won the trade. The trade was compared to what it's like today right now. Okay. I'm chugging. I'm chugging because I have to believe that going through everything that we've gone through since March, and all of this, and everything that we're going to go through this coming season, depending if he plays 6 games, 10 games, or he's gone all year, it better be worth it, and he better win a Super Bowl. He better win more than one Super Bowl. We better be in contention. I believe that's going to happen. It has to, because if not, our fan base is just jinxed for forever. So I'm chugging on that, and it was definitely worth it. In what you said, 20 years. 20 years, they're going to be talking about the glory days. Everybody's going to forget about Brian Sipe and Bernie Kosar, and it's going to be Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns of this era. Is going to be all they talk about, all the memories.
Right. Ross.
So what I remember is the first time we saw Future Manch and the second time we saw Future Manch, he was super happy, he was super cool, and he was coming to us from a year in the future. Now we see Andy Manch in 5 years in the future. Yeah. He looks kind of down. He's chugging liquor. I don't think things end up working out so well for Deshaun. Maybe after that first year, things looked a little up, but after a couple of years, it's probably going down as a pretty bad trade. I'm just going off of Future Manch in 5 years versus.
I do want to point out sometimes I did give you some false information on those videos. I was going through that, and I was required, if I can't tell too much about the future, there's like some weird law that can punish you. So I had to sprinkle in some untruths. Yeah, but I will say most of it was.
I'm just going off what I see, and you just don't seem very excited. Like, even if you have all these laws in place, you'd like show a little smile or a little wink, but you haven't even done that for us.
All right, fair enough. Ed.
Here's the thing. I was going to chug, but now I'm going to sip. Here's why. I'm looking behind you, Andy, and I see Bernie Kosar in that famous snow game. I remember everybody's got that picture right there, iconic picture, and I don't see any new ones. Maybe you're told to take them down. Maybe you were told to not give us all the information and give the false truths like you just said. But I don't see that excitement in your voice. So I know that the question was 15 years. So there's 10 years that we're not seeing because you're 5 years in the future. So that's 10 years that you don't know about with Deshaun Watson. The only thing I will say, though, is at the end of 5 years would be like if we needed to see if he's a quarterback. I know we'll probably, change his contract around and probably, do some things with the numbers and things. So I don't know if that's an indicator of it. So that's why I'm sipping. Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm sipping. But I will say one thing. I think he will be our quarterback for the next, for his entire career. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you're right. I don't know. Who knows? But that's why I have to sip.
Yeah,
I wanted to chug. I wanted to chug. I'm almost done with it. And I wanted to chug, but I couldn't do it.
Way to stick to your guts, Ed.
Well,
Try. Thank you, Roger.
So I'm only 25% through the timeline that I suggested. We should get 20-year future Manch on, and maybe he can shed better light on this than I could. But I will say this: 5 years out, he just signed another 4-year extension. So he's doing very well. I will say we're a little bit short of expectations, but there's always reasons for that. There's something that isn't working out or whatever. This town still believes. However, there are a lot of people that think, had we not gone this way, had we saved those draft picks, had we rode with Baker one more year, whatever, things would be different. We have those fights on Twitter pretty much every day, but it's a bunch of nonsense. He's doing a very solid job. He's, I would say, a top 7 quarterback, averaging over the last 4.5 years. So I'm going to go ahead and sit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you think Baker would have been a top 7 quarterback in the league in the next 4 years?
You know what? We're gonna get to that with our next question.
Ooh, okay.
Oh,
20 years
you in the future,
or 15 years for me. Popular opinion from Browns fans will be that the Browns were smart to move on from Baker Mayfield and made the right move. This time we'll start with Ross.
I guess this kind of I got to do the sip here with my finished beer, I guess. So obviously I said I was spitting on the future for Deshaun, which means does that mean keeping Baker is better? Not necessarily. It just means that we needed a new quarterback. But I can't disagree that moving on from Baker was the wrong move. So that's why I'm sipping.
All right. Ed.
I'm going to chug on this one. Look, say what you want about Deshaun Watson. It was time to split with Baker Mayfield. Will he be a top 7 quarterback in the next 4 to 5 years? No. I've always said he's an above average quarterback. I'll stick to that. But he's not a top 7 quarterback. He never will be. And you know what? That doesn't mean he's a horrible quarterback. It just means that, if the Browns want to move on with the upper echelon of quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, they need to upgrade the position. And I think Deshaun Watson, when he finally gets on the field, will be an upgrade over Baker Mayfield. And maybe top 7's not good enough. Maybe these quarterbacks are so good nowadays that you have to be top 5, and maybe he's the reason, as future Manch says that expectations have been we haven't met them, and but he says that Deshaun Watson's playing fine. So I blame that damn kicker, Cade York. You should have liked my tweet. You should have responded to Ed in Columbus. That was your downfall. And when you double doink off the field goal post, you know what? Remember me, punk.
I don't want to. That was amazing. I don't want to interrupt your flow there, but I will say you just had Cade York on the Ed in the old.
My guy, Cade York.
You were sucking his dick. You love. Everything he was saying, you were smiling and dancing. This whole thing that you don't like the guy.
Wait, which podcast was he on with him? Off the old block.
It was Ed's podcast.
Oh, crap.
I love our.
Well, no, you said you had 14 of them. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, it was. I did say that. It's funny though. Your podcast is so successful that you actually have to turn some football players down from appearing.
Do I beat Pat McAfee's ass?
No, not even close. You guys are doing amazing in the Cleveland market, but Pat McAfee's like national. He's actually getting paid. You guys are just doing your thing.
Oh boy.
But you're growing something. I think it could get
huge someday.
Yeah, it's gonna be big. Yes, unfortunately. There's a lot of people though that they watch because they hate you.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense to me.
Skip Bayless effect.
There's no such thing as bad publicity.
That's why I love me. That's why I love me some me, because of all the hate. I love me some.
But it's so funny hearing you talk shit about Cade when he was on your show. You just like.
Oh, if he keeps making field goals, yeah.
He'll do unspeakable things.
Unspeakable.
Probably will. I would.
I'm surprised he's not. Ross suggested today he just wears a tie. And this conversation, I'm surprised he didn't strip down, just have his tie on and go out.
Well, we win a Super Bowl. I'll strip down to the tie, and then we'll get it on. If K. Dork makes a game-winning field goal, absolutely.
No.
All right, Roger, what do you think about the prospects of Baker, of Browns fans thinking it was the right move to move on from Baker?
I'm chugging on it. Browns fans are going to watch my prediction over the next 5 years. They're going to watch the Cleveland Browns be in the hunt, be in the Super Bowl chase every year. You're going to be in the conversation. You're going to be in the playoffs. You're going to be in the AFC Championship games. And Baker Mayfield is going to be, his career is a bridge quarterback. He's going to turn into Tyrod Taylor. He's going to be the guy holding the place for the rookie that a team drafts. He can beat the bad teams. He can't win the big games. He can't, take you down the field and win on the last drive. And Browns fans in the end are going to see even the most devout Baker bros are going to be running around in number 4 jerseys when we win the Super Bowl.
Whoa.
All right.
Whoa. Hey now.
Yeah.
Well,
They're hypocrites.
And I'm not 20 years in the future, but my thought is Baker's still in the league. He's still a player that, people love and people hate. A lot of controversy with this guy. And there's a lot of controversy on Brown's Twitter about Baker Mayfield. The team he went to, Carolina, I'm going to reveal it. Ross, you keep calling me out for not revealing enough information. A lot of the criticism about why he didn't do very well there was because the team wasn't built very well for him. A lot of excuses. And people think, a lot of Browns fans think, if he was in Cleveland, he would have succeeded. I don't know. I think it was the right move for the most part. I think it's probably 60-40. Browns fans think that was the right move to move on. So I'm just going to sip. 60's pretty good number, not like overwhelming.
So in 5 years, Browns Twitter is still talking about Baker Mayfield?
That's for sure. I mean, they're still talking about whether Dorsey was good as a GM for the Browns. So they're still talking about Baker.
Sashi Brown died for our sins. Sashi Brown died for our sins.
I'm deleting my account.
For our wins.
Knowing that, I'm deleting my fucking account. They're still going to be talking about Baker in 5 years.
Sins, wins.
Roger, you say that, but there's always going to be people that are just misguided, that have bad thoughts. I mean, even in the future, there's a lot of that. And you just got to recognize there's some people that are fools and just try not to pay too much attention to them. That'd be my advice.
I guess. There's still like 3 kids that went to Ignatius that thought Hoyer would win a Super Bowl here. So I guess I could.
I haven't heard anyone mention Hoyer in probably a year outside of like a couple trivia questions. So eventually we do move on. Let me move on to my last question for Spit Sip Chug. Edward.
Which iPhone do you got there?
This is the iPhone 17.
What's your favorite part about it?
It's pretty much still the same.
That makes about
yeah. I totally believe that.
Is Ed still joining podcasts using his iPhone?
No, he upgrades to a whole studio. It's amazing.
Your flashlight come on randomly.
Once his kids move out of the house, it's like a different Ed. Like he's got
a rap studio.
I don't know.
Dropping beats in his basement?
I haven't seen any evidence of rap videos, but he puts a whole studio in the house and he's just loving life at the extra time.
Loving myself.
Yeah. Kelly's usually visiting the kids and stuff, and he comes down to Cleveland at least.
I tell her don't mention them by names. Don't mention them by name.
It's funny. He always talks shit about Cleveland, but he visits Cleveland about 3 times a month at this point. So
I'm liking the future. I'm liking this future.
All right, let me get on to my last question. We're going to start with you. 5 years from now, so in my timeline, is Andrew Berry and Stefanski still with the Browns? Sorry, I made that a question. I still fuck up in the future. They are still with the Browns.
I'm chugging. They are.
Mountain Dew. Crap, I got to grab a beer.
Trust in Stefanski. Trust in Andrew Berry. That's all I see. You guys made shirts about, I'm saying, all this fun stuff. And if the Browns win, which I think they're going to win, I don't see why you'd make any changes. So I think they're going to be there. And Jimmy always pays. handsomely when it comes to his management and his coaching staff. So yeah, I'm with Chug.
Roger.
I'm chugging. I like the nod that he's giving me. I feel good about it. Gives me a good vibe that I'm on the right track.
You know,
I think Andrew Berry, Paul DePodesta, and Kevin Stefanski are going to be here for 20 years. They're going to run this organization. We're going to be an elite franchise in the NFL. We're going to be the pinnacle and the blueprint that other franchises try to copy to get to where we are. How about that?
all right.
It's a good
How
answer.
about them apples?
I love it.
Well, I actually don't have beer, but I got a seltzer left in the fridge, I guess. Tequila seltzer, but I'm chugging.
We were just at a patio and they had those. Those were really good.
Yeah, it's all right. But I'm chugging, even though I had my doubts about Deshaun Watson in 20 years, what we think about him. I think in the next 5 years, if things don't work out for him, they're not going to look at Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski as the reason that project didn't work out. They're just going to say Haslam wanted to spend a shit ton of money to solve his problems like he always does, whether it was him at Pilot Flying J or whatever he's doing in life. Just throw money at your problems and you'll solve them. But no, we're gonna ride this one out. There's already some proven successful that they do. I'm going with it. I'm going for it.
Well,
Right, Ed?
Yes.
the first question that I actually know the answer to, and I know I made some joke about some bathroom practices or whatever. And I will also admit there are plenty of people out there that still doubt these are the guys. Look, you don't win it all, and people are looking for a change, but they are still here.
In Pittsburgh, they're every year they talk about firing Tomlin. They've had 3 coaches in their entire existence.
Tomlin is out so fast. They're on their 3rd coach since.
What?
Yeah.
Great. That's great news.
Don't tell me
And
Big
I'll
Ben's
also say that the Cavs are still under their same, and Francona got elevated to the front office, but he's still part of the organization. Pretty much everyone is still tuckered in 5 years in the future. As you know, it's pretty unprecedented to think of 3 franchises continuing their people. So
Will people warm up to the name Guardians? When I look on the TV and I see people in the stands, will they finally get rid of their Indians gear and actually all buy Guardian stuff?
I will say that there's still a small contingent of people that are so proud to rock their Indians gear, but for the most part, the city has embraced the Guardians, and Guardians, like I said, they're doing amazing. So they deserve.
Oh man, so there's still no nickname. You didn't say any nickname there.
What's that?
There's no agreed upon nickname for the Guardians yet.
Right. Are they the G's now? For
no,
sure. Are they the
Yeah,
Guards?
it's all guards. G's. It's everyone.
Gordos.
There's nothing
Gordos.
that's accepted.
Oh, okay.
We still call them the tribe sometimes.
There's
Go
still
try.
people on- There's still people on Twitter calling them the Indians still.
There are, of course, and yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm guessing that has something to do with how the 2024 election.
It's hard to
panned out.
eradicate COVID, just like Indian fever. It's hard to eradicate Indian fever.
There were still people that called it the Jake for a long time, right?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
eventually you don't hear the Jake very often. I'm expecting in the next couple of years that's what's going to happen.
Huh.
All right. Well, that does
Good
it for
to know. Good to
for
know.
Good job, Andy. Future Andy delivered tonight, man. I was a little worried. Hey, I got a text. Why we're doing that last one is from President or current Andy, I guess. And he's on 4th Street. He was at the Guardians game.
Oh wow!
He said, "I'll see you next week." And he sent a
No wonder I had
Thanks-
such a
Thanks
vivid
for
memory
telling
of
us.
that game.
Current.
at 10:55.
Yeah, it's that meth thing he's got going on, but fortunately I get over that pretty fast. Heather found me lying on the stairs drooling, and she just was livid. So I had to get over that. I had to get clean. I went in some rehab for a couple months. I'm a better father for
Your
it.
son's proud of you.
Yeah, I mean, he actually called me a douche.
Oh.
Somehow
Wait,
he's,
was that his like second word or third word?
he's not even 5 yet, and he knows the word douche. And I've never used that word, so I don't know.
He probably watched the Dog Chug.
Yeah.
He knows the word douche. Does he use it as a noun?
Yeah, you are a douche.
Atta boy.
He'll be like, read me this bedtime story, and I'll be like, I gotta go, and he'll go, you're a douche, and then he slams the door shut, and he's whatever. He's cute.
not wrong.
He's good.
I want to hang out with this kid.
Well, yeah, I mean, he has appeared on a couple episodes of the Dog Chug, so you'll get to meet him.
All right.
Nice.
He's a good kid.
Hey, I got a little side note here. I'm a little worried. I got this beer for Father's Day, and I rattled a can. There's something in it.
It's like those paint cans when you're shaking up the paint can.
No, is that
Is it
a
empty?
nitro? Is that a
The
nitro?
can's empty. There's like something in it rattling around inside the can.
Is that a nitro
what?
beer?
It's like
It's
it's like a Guinness.
Waddington Club Ale.
Does
It's
it say it's
awful.
a nitrogen beer or no?
It's awful. Is it what? I'm sorry?
A nitro beer.
No, I don't think so. Why? What do you think? I'm thinking it might. Hopefully, I'm like a ball of yeast or something in there, not like a mouse. Is my hope. We should cut it open next week and see what it is.
I got a question for you guys real quick because I want to give a shout out to these guys. But Offside Sports Network, I want to chug on them
We're not
taking
good
over
at
the
that.
spot. My guy Zach creates, Wesley, got to give my shot, Tori, and all them. You know what I'm saying? So I want to give a shout out to Offside Sports Network because we are brought to you by Offside Sports Network. So I got to get that in there. Brown Spot, what's up? I got the orange tie for you today, my dog.
We got to do brought to you by to open the show. We need a big voice guy like the Barking Browns have. Brought to you by Offside Sports.
We didn't play that yesterday. Shout out to
Featuring
Barton
Ed in
Brown.
Columbus.
We
in
did-
Columbus.
We forgot to play that. Jacob might get mad.
What else can we ask, Andy?
Wait, future match. Are the endings of the show as awkward as they are now?
Absolutely. They never get
tradition that keeps on living.
Oh, I want to give a shout out to another podcast of mine, Down with the Browns, because we played trivia the other day, and Micro the Bison, or Mac the Buffalo, he came at me. It was a great trivia contest, but once again, the great Ed in Columbus came out on top. He had problems with the way that things were handled. I want to say that Christian is a man of integrity, a man of honor, and the cream always rises to the top. Did it get a little bit hairy at the end? I let the kids stay in the contest for viewership purposes, but he wasn't going to beat me. He's never going to beat me. I'm the greatest. And shout out to Micro the Bison.
That reminds me, there's a future episode of Down with the Browns, which is a great podcast as it evolves, where my former self actually did a game between all four of you, and it was one of your highest rated shows of all time. So,
hey, you're welcome anytime. We would love to have you on.
I'd love to reveal who the winner is, but I think we just need to let it play out because that would take away. But yeah, you guys do a great job over there, and man, it was a fun time playing that game. So I can't wait till we do that.
I can't wait till it happens either. I just,
I'm going to tell you, I went through their. I'm trying to find the merchandise because I said I was going to buy a shirt, and I made a decision what shirt I'm going to buy. I'm not going to reveal it until I wear it on the Dawg Chug though.
Wait till Ed makes his second non-racist shirt. It's so much better, and all of us end up buying it.
Oh,
I did not make that shirt, by the way.
Yeah, but the second version, I don't know who made it, but it's great. It's fantastic, and everyone ends up loving it.
That's good.
Let me ask you this: do we ever have? We're influencers. We were the first ones to talk about T-shirts that are still in the process of being made.
We got mugs, though. We got mugs.
Where do we get these things from?
Yeah, Dawg Chug eventually does shirts, and all of us buy them, and that's about it. I think we give a couple away as a prize. But we're not about like selling things on this show. We're just about having fun, and we do have fun.
Right. I don't want to sell them.
Yeah,
Give them away.
I mean, I tried to
Listen,
sell him
Andy said he
BS
was
from
gonna
my mouth
spring for him.
every week. But
Nice.
All right. Well, that concludes our episode. Thanks for coming on, Andy from the future, even though current Andy has a drug problem. So I'm glad you could fill in. That really worked out for us.
It's
Pretty
good to see that
convenient.
you kicked it. It's good to see that you kicked it.
Well, how about let's go out on a cheers? You got your glass?
We're gonna close.
Pour here.
We're gonna cheers in the corner.
Cue awkward ending.
Oh yeah, he's not drinking beer anymore, so he has to think about it.
he's a sophisticated drinker.
All right, cheers and go Browns.
Go Browns!